Chicago, a city of shadows and secrets, a place where the past and present intertwine, creating a tapestry of mystery and intrigue. The streets, though bustling by day, transform into a realm of whispers and shadows by night. Within its urban labyrinth, whispers travel on the wind. These whispers carry tales of old, stories that have been passed down through generations, each one more chilling than the last. They speak of legends that lurk in the dark corners, waiting to be discovered. A name spoken 5 times in a mirror summons a legend. This act, seemingly simple, holds the power to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. It is a ritual that has been whispered about in hushed tones, a dare that few are brave enough to undertake. Candyman. A name whispered in fear, a promise of violence, a reflection of our darkest selves. He is more than just a ghost story. He is a manifestation of the collective fears and traumas of the community. His presence is a reminder of the pain and suffering that lingers just beneath the surface. They say he haunts Cabrini Green, a place where hope struggles to survive. This neighborhood, once vibrant, now stands as a testament to neglect and decay. The walls, covered in graffiti, tell stories of their own, each piece a cry for help, a plea for recognition. Broken windows stare out like empty eyes, each telling a silent story of despair. These windows, once gateways to the world, now serve as reminders of what has been lost. They are the eyes of the past, watching over the present with a mournful gaze. He is a phantom, a boogeyman, a cautionary tale whispered to keep children in line. But he is also a symbol, a representation of the fears that haunt us all. His story is told to warn, to protect, but also to remember. To remember the pain, the injustice, and the need for change. But behind every legend, there is a truth that is often buried beneath layers of myth and fear. To uncover it, one must be willing to look beyond the surface, to dig deep into the past and confront the realities that lie hidden. A story buried beneath layers of fear and folklore. This story, though shrouded in mystery, holds the key to understanding the legend. It is a tale of love, betrayal, and vengeance, a narrative that has been twisted and turned over time. This is the story of Daniel Robitaille, the man who became Candyman. A talented artist, a man of passion and vision, whose life was tragically cut short. His legacy, however, lives on, not just in the whispers of the dark, but in the hearts and minds of those who remember. Daniel Robitaille, a name lost to time, now remembered only in hushed tones. He was not born a monster, but a man with dreams. A gifted artist, his canvases were alive with colour and emotion. His hands, destined to create, not destroy. He lived in a time when the world saw only his skin, not his soul. Segregation cast a long shadow, dimming his light. But Daniel found solace in his art, and in the love of a woman. Her name, like his, has faded from memory. But their love was a beacon in the darkness. She was his muse, his inspiration, his reason to believe in beauty. Their love story unfolded against a backdrop of hate. In a time when society was divided by race and class, their bond was a beacon of hope and defiance. A forbidden romance met with scorn and suspicion. They had to keep their love hidden, meeting in secret, away from prying eyes and judgmental whispers. He painted her portrait, capturing her ethereal beauty on canvas. Each brushstroke was a declaration of his love, a silent promise that their bond would endure, a testament to their love, and a challenge to a world that sought to keep them apart. Their love was a rebellion, a stand against the prejudices that sought to divide them. But their happiness was short-lived. The shadows of intolerance loomed large, threatening to engulf their fleeting moments of joy. Rumours of their love reached the ears of her father, a wealthy landowner consumed by prejudice. His heart, hardened by societal norms, could not accept their union. Blinded by hate, he hired a mob to silence Daniel, to erase his existence. His wealth and influence turned the townspeople into instruments of his bigotry. They descended upon him like wolves, their hearts filled with hate. The mob, fueled by ignorance and fear, sought to destroy what they could not understand. Accused of a crime he did not commit, Daniel was brutally beaten, his cries for mercy ignored. The injustice of their actions was a stark reminder of the cruelty that prejudice can breed. They dragged him through the streets, leaving a trail of blood in their wake. The cobblestones, once silent witnesses to their secret meetings, now bore the marks of violence and betrayal. She wept for him, clutching the portrait he had painted, the only remnant of their love. Her tears fell on the canvas, mingling with the colours, a poignant symbol of their shattered dreams. As the sun set over the town, the echoes of their love and betrayal lingered, a haunting reminder of a love that defied the odds, but was ultimately torn apart by the cruelty of the world. They brought him to a field, a place where bees hummed amongst wildflowers. It was a serene setting, a stark contrast to the horror that was about to unfold. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle hum of bees created a deceptive sense of peace. His blood stained the grass, a gruesome offering to their hate. The vibrant green of the grass was marred by the deep crimson of his blood, a testament to the brutality he endured. Each drop that fell was a symbol of their cruelty, a mark of their unrelenting malice. They cut off his right hand, the hand that had brought beauty into the world through his art. It was a deliberate act of savagery, meant to strip him of his identity and his passion. The pain was excruciating, but the emotional torment was even greater. The hand that held his brush, the instrument of his creativity. With each stroke, he had poured his soul onto the canvas, creating masterpieces that spoke of love, sorrow, and the human condition. Now, that hand lay severed, a cruel reminder of what he had lost. The hand that caressed his lover's face, tender and gentle. It was the hand that had known the softness of a lover's touch, the warmth of human connection. In that moment, all those memories were tainted by the agony of his mutilation. They smeared his body with honey, a grotesque mockery of his art, turning his flesh into a canvas of torment. The sticky sweetness clung to his skin, attracting the very creatures that once symbolized the beauty of nature in his paintings. A feast for the bees that swarmed around him. The buzzing grew louder, more menacing. As the bees were drawn to the honey, they covered his body, their tiny legs and wings creating a living shroud of pain and fear. They left him there to die, alone and in agony. The field that had once been a place of life and beauty was now a scene of death and despair. His body lay motionless, but his mind was a whirlwind of suffering. His screams swallowed by the buzzing of insects. The sound of his agony was drowned out by the relentless hum of the bees, a cruel symphony that marked his final moments. His voice, once full of passion and life, was now a mere whisper against the cacophony of nature. They thought they had silenced him. They were wrong. As they walked away, satisfied with their act of brutality, they believed they had erased him from existence, but they had only set the stage for his transformation. Death did not offer him peace. Instead, it became the crucible that forged his rage and pain into something far more terrifying. His soul, unable to find rest, was consumed by the desire for vengeance. His soul, twisted by pain and rage, returned. It emerged from the shadows, a specter of torment and fury. No longer bound by the limitations of the flesh, he became a force of pure malevolence. He became a creature of nightmares, forever bound to the mirror, a portal to the world of the living. The mirror reflected not just his visage, but the depths of his suffering and the darkness of his soul. To the whispers of his name, once spoken with admiration and love, was now uttered in fear and dread. The whispers echoed through the darkness, a constant reminder of the monster they had created. Candyman. His name, once whispered in fear, now echoed with the pain of injustice. He became a symbol of the darkness that festers in the shadows of society, a reminder of the violence inflicted on the innocent, the silenced, the forgotten. Cabrini Green, a place where hope withered and died, became his hunting ground, a place where fear and despair clung to the air like a shroud. He haunted not just the buildings, but the souls of those who lived there. He became a manifestation of their anger, their fear, their desperation, a reflection of a society that had failed them, that had turned its back on their suffering. Every legend holds a mirror to our fears. Candyman reflects our deepest anxieties, our hidden prejudices, the darkness we try to outrun. He is a reminder that the past never truly dies, that it lingers in the shadows, waiting to be awakened. He is a symbol of the consequences of our silence, our indifference to the suffering of others. We fear him, not just because he is a monster, but because he reminds us of the monsters that lurk within us all. He is a challenge to confront the injustices that plague our world, to see the humanity in those we deem different, to hear the cries of the unheard. The legend of Candyman transcends time. It is passed down through generations, whispered in hushed tones, a chilling reminder of the power of fear and the enduring legacy of hate. His story is a cautionary tale, a warning against the dangers of prejudice, the corrosive nature of fear. It forces us to confront the darkness that resides within our communities, within ourselves. His legend reminds us that we are all connected, that our actions, our inactions, have consequences, that the cycle of violence continues until we choose to break it. Candyman is more than just a ghost story. He is a symbol of the systemic racism, the poverty, the neglect that continues to plague our society. He is the embodiment of the rage and frustration of those who have been marginalized and silenced. His story challenges us to look beyond the surface, to see the humanity in those we fear, to acknowledge the pain and suffering that has been inflicted on marginalized communities. It is a call to action, a plea for empathy and understanding. It demands that we confront the injustices that persist in our world and work towards creating a more just and equitable society. The legend of Candyman is a mirror held up to society. It reflects our fears, our prejudices, our capacity for both cruelty and compassion. It is a story that will continue to haunt us until we confront the darkness within ourselves and within our world. We must ask ourselves, what monsters have we created? What injustices have we allowed to fester in the shadows? The answers to these questions lie not in the darkness, but in our willingness to face our reflections and fight for a better tomorrow.